Hello everybody, hope you guys are doing well, having a great day or a great night. So this is a quick video just to talk about some things that some people shared and I found it's very interesting. So we have this guy here on Twitter, 801 XRP. And there is a quote here, interesting one. I don't know who said or wrote this, but let's go. So the success scenario is a currency no one controls. If the choice is no boss, and that happens to make a bunch of cryptocurrency people rich, I don't think they are going to see that as too much of a minus. So, uh, a few things are going to happen very soon. So, as you guys are aware, the 17 global goals will take place probably by 2030. Okay. And we know there we are going to see a global economic change like never before. Okay, so in order to have a new model, the previous one must go away. Okay, so let's start with all the aspects. Okay, so a currency no one controls will never happen, never ever. What is the foundation for this idea that it is not going to happen? In the near future, we are going to have a single currency or a global currency. And some people may say, well, the dollar, other currency. No, it is not going to be the dollar or any other currency. Okay. There is two ways to start this conversation. The first one um, is the US dollar going to be replaced by other currency? No. For example, some people make some basic mistakes about implications. Okay, so for example, the US dollar, it's not a global currency. It's a global reserve currency, which is totally different. Okay, so about the two steps, we know, as you guys also hear, about the level playing field. So this is going to happen. It's part of the 17 global goals, aka Agenda 2030. So every currency out there is going to have the same weight, the same value. Okay. So the dollar will be worth one. The euro will be worth one. The Japanese yuan will be worth one. So on and on and on and on and on. This is going to eliminate the global friction, which is going to make things more easier and transparent. And it is not going to create, let's say, inequality. Okay. So this is a term they use. It's not the real term for economics and macro economy 101, etc. But just one example for you guys to have an idea. This book was wrote, if I'm not wrong, on the summer of 2004. Okay, so a global currency for a global economy. This dream, it's older as time. Okay, so the idea in this book, it's not new at all. It's not a new concept. It always started in the foundation of civilization. Actually, a bit after. Okay, so for example, we are talking about the early days of Babylon. So we had a lot of people from a lot of places with different goods to trade, or even, let's say, what they consider as currencies. And so they had to exchange with each other. Okay, so there was they needed a rate, okay, to say what's worth this, it's worth that, or it's worth half gold, half other products or services. Okay, so it was the very beginning. Okay, a local empire, a local currency. And this was true for all the empires that we came to know so far. Babylon, the Greek Empire, the Middle Persian Empire, the Roman Empire, so on and on and on and on and on. And with this new the Agenda 2030 and this new global event that they always talking about, a globalization, the global events, the global economy, global trade, will requires a global currency. Okay, so again, back to the two steps. It can happen with a single step or two. If it happens with one, we will have the same names for the currencies we have today: dollar, euro, Japanese yuan, um, so on and on and on. Or, which I believe it is going to be this path, a single currency with one name for everybody. And since the money is going to be digital, they can do this in the blink of AI. Okay, so ain't nobody will notice, won't care. It's still their money. It's still money. Only the name changed. Not a big deal, right? So uh, now back to the tweet. So these are one of the multiple reasons it can happen. And what about something so big that no one controls? Doesn't make any sense at all. And I'm going to give you guys a old example that it's also related to the perestroika. You know, the event that happened in Russia when the Soviet Union fell. Uh, Someone spent a lot of money to build a beautiful garden. Okay, so this is through the lens of communism. And then this guy said, "I need someone to take care of my garden." And then some people said, "Okay, I'll do this," but there is no reward. There is no payment, right? So uh, in communism, everything should be free, or services, some goods, whatever. And then this guy starts to take care of that garden, but he doesn't make a great of job, and he's also not properly qualified. He don't have the proper skills. So it turns into a bit of a mess, okay? And so this guy decides to leave, or even if he gets fired. Then the owner of the garden will ask someone else to go and take care of the garden. And let's have this scenario. I'm going to pay for your food, so I'm going to give you food and shelter, and you just take care of my garden. Again, no payment. There are multiple ways you can look at this, and you'll find the same result. And then this guy will have a much bigger work to do because it was in a poor state than when it was built. So it requires more work, more knowledge. And he turns out to make a bigger mess. And then he go look into someone else to do the job, and the person stay with only one day and said, "It's impossible, it's a mess." And then the garden collapses. Nobody will take care of the garden, nobody cares, and time will take care and destroy the flowers, become dirty, so on and on and on. So this is I would say about the perestroika, one of the reasons the Soviet empire collapsed. Uh, so here, this guy mentions a few of those problems, just a few. And it's very interesting. So this is well known to everybody. You guys can just pause the video and read this. So the money that nobody would control would fall into the perestroika problem, okay? And a digital currency or a CBDC have a lot of efforts and a lot of money for a bigger purpose to just imagine you spend a lot of resources and time and people's effort to just leave that thing open in the air for anyone. Of course not, folks. This is never going to happen, and nobody would ever do it. Okay, so yeah, so this is one of the just talking about scenarios. Okay, about what was written in that tweet. If that is the point or not, it's not possible. Okay, so When using, let me read this. So when using national currencies in international trade, both flexible and fixed exchange rate systems pose a number of problems. This is true. The most important is a large deflationary bias on the global economy, as deficit countries are forced to try and attain a positive current account balance to protect their exchange rate. So on and on and on. That's friction problem. The nostro vostro that banks must have. It's a lot of problem as well. The transport of money, the transport of gold, precious metals. It's a lot of problem, and they spend a lot of money. So this is one of the reasons we are going digital. Okay. So there is another discussion, if I'm not wrong, something that they talked about, or someone, I don't remember properly, but there is a discussion if XRP is going to be a global reserve currency. No, XRP won't be a global reserve currency. And why? Folks, if we are going to have a single currency, there will be no need to have any reserve currency. It is going to be just one. No vostro vostro, no fixed rates. I mean, floatable rates. And so there is no need to have a side reserve currency. It's pointless. Doesn't make any sense at all. Okay. So, for example, we having multiple names: dollar, euro, Japanese yuan, and let's say in this scenario we have a reserve currency, global reserve currency. It could be any of those currencies, any, because they all have the same weight, same value. So it's also pointless. And in the scenario we have, let's say, global currency name worth one. Why would we have a reserve of the same currency, like global currency reserve? It doesn't make any sense. It's weird, right? So that's one of the reasons it is not going to happen. Okay. So why XRP won't become a global reserve currency? Multiple reasons. XRP is deflationary. Okay. On every transaction, XRP is burned. Also, XRP was created as a solution for the industry. So you can say Internet 2.0 or the new Internet, or the new things that they're introducing to the Internet, the payment rails, paving the way for the CBDCs to be settled in real time. Also, there is another thing. You may say, okay, but when we are moving, for example, US dollars today to Germany and euro, we have a friction. Yes, we do. And so we need a kind of reserve currency to make this exchange. So, for example, US dollars are going to buy XRP in the States. Those XRP are going to move straight to Germany and then being converted to euros. Okay, so this is a solution for a today problem. And I believe this is part of the solution. And now you guys will get the track of this as we keep going. Oh, it's where is it? Oh, it's right here. So this one is old. You guys are familiar with this. It's no news, right? Okay, so for example, they are not going to move digital petrol or digital gold or silver, precious metals. It is going to require a new nostro vostro to make it happen. Again, that's when XRP comes, Ripple XRP comes to play. They are providing a solution to the industry. So the thing that moves behind the scenes that make the magic happen. And all of you guys are familiar with this. Okay, so for example, if we are moving tons of gold through a digital way, it will require something to go beneath to make it happen. That's XRP. Some of you guys still remember the Shane Ellis theory. Okay, I believe that is right. That's how it is going to happen because the price of XRP has been must be set to match that volume that is coming. So, for example, if it is coming $100, how much XRP we needed to move that $100? Let's say 1, 10, 50, or 100. Okay, so when it comes to bigger numbers or bigger volume, for example, it's coming $1 billion. How much XRP I need available to make that transaction? And also remember, it's something that is done fast. Okay, it also enters into account. But things start to get faster as we talk about multiple billions or even a trillion. Okay, so how much XRP I needed to match those $1 trillion? The number of when we talk about available XRP, is not the one mentioned on sites like Coin Market Cap. Okay, because for example, one exchange can have, let's say, 10 billion XRP, but if they are not a partner, a Ripple partner, it's Bitso, if I'm not wrong, from Mexico, that's partner from ODL. Okay, so those 10 billion coins, it's not included because they are all outside the ecosystem, right? So that should not be accounted. But let's say Bitso have 10 billion XRP coins and they are a ODL partner or real-time transaction remittances partner, you know, the drill. So if they have 10 billion XRP coins in custody, and we know they are a partner, and let's say there is a one or multiple transactions worth of $10 billion. So they would have to allocate 100% of the coins to make a single transaction, right? But if we break into BEPs, so let's say 500, 500, 500 at the same time, they would have to split and separate the coins to match that volume. So that's when the price of XRP starts to go up at fixed rates to make that volume pass. Okay, so it's a similar mechanics of what we have today. Just a second. There was some, okay. So this is something important. Now back to the 2 steps. Okay, this is very important. We do know that the gold standard will come back. Some people are believing that the gold standard is the final solution. It can be, it can, but I don't think it is going to be. And this is one of the questions and concerns that a lot of people, especially those who support the BRICS, that think the BRICS will change the world, that, you know, which is not going to happen. So, for example, countries with the largest reserves of gold will have more currency than others, right? So the difference that they're talking about, inequality and poverty, so all those things will keep in place. So they won't change. I think you can start to see the path here. But there is more. And there is something else that they are not accounting as well. The trade deficit or balance. It's like this. For example, if X country is exporting $10 billion, but if they are importing $20 billion, their gold reserves or currency backed by gold start to go away. They will also turn into a poor country. And this will be a matter of time before it happens. So that's why I strongly believe the gold standard won't be a final solution to the problems we have today. Okay, it is going to fix the global deflation. Yes, it is going to fix like a alpha version of the global trade. Yes, and some local economic problems. I do believe it is going to fix, no matter. No, I have no doubt about it. Okay, but and this is just before the global currency, which, folks, as we saw in the far past, thousands of years ago, it is true that it is going to happen with the coming empire, which is so the United States, the United Nations is paving the way for this empire that is to come. Probably going to happen by 2030, the very beginning of it. Okay, and so who is behind the 17 global goals or the Agenda 2030? The public name is the United Nations, but there are other groups behind it that are not public names. Okay, I can talk about this, or this video will be flagged as things that you guys can imagine. Okay, so uh, there are some interesting things here. So, for example, uh, I can hide this. I should, but okay. Here's some things that are going to happen. People will work only 4 days a week. Yes, 4 days, around 4 days. And there's something very interesting here because people who work less spend more, and people who work more spend less. So anyway, we will always have poverty or inequality. Always, 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 always. This is will never change. So this is just a flag to say, oh, we are fighting for a good cause, you know. But no, they only make things worse. For example, zero hunger. Well, they could start fixing this today, right? So by the corruption, stopping making stupid wars, and stop putting poison in our food and water, right? So it's the upside down. They create the problem to offer the solution into their own terms. So it's 1, 2, 3, we won. Um, there is one especially here. Decent work and economic growth. So that's the thing about the labor. Uh, it is going to be chaotic. And after the next global crash, economic crash, a lot of jobs will vanish. Okay, we are talking about around 2 and 4 million people in the United States losing their jobs. Imagine. And this is worldwide. Similar numbers. Some countries lose 5, 10, others 12, others 1. It is going to happen. Okay. So let me close this thing. This is disgusting. Okay, so folks, let me tell you something. Let me share my experience with you. If you ask anybody in the street or a friend, if you ask this question, would you like to know the future? Probably this person would say yes. Probably. But there's a problem that people don't say or talk about, which is we pay a high price when we really know the future. Okay? Because you will be hopeless, helpless. You can change the things that you saw, the things that are coming, and you will feel frustrated. You can even have depression. It's a heavy burden to carry. You know that something's coming, and you can do nothing to change or stop it. Okay, and friendly advice: every time you you talk about or say something like, wish I knew the future. Take care, folks. Take care, because some people just go crazy, they go mad, even with a glimpse. And it's very, very dangerous. Okay, very. So yeah, so that's one of the reasons we have some recommendations to not look into this path. So the things we've been doing here, macroeconomics, looking to macro fundamentals, what is the word? Technical analysis, fundamentalistic analysis. It's key, folks. It's key to understand a lot of things that are to come, okay? And so the best thing we can do, the best, is to try to protect ourselves. Try. You see? Try. It's very complicated to say, it's such a small word. And yeah, so here's another thing. One of the reasons I'm very, very concerned, I already talked about this. All of you who are following me since Twitter, remember, those people are using socialism, leftism, and communism to break the world, to put the world apart, to then bring their solution, which is one of the things we just saw right here. So they are using it, so they are bringing chaos, or ordo ab cal, order through chaos. That's what we are seeing today. Okay, so for example, some friends that live in Australia shared some news, and this is also true for Canada, probably soon, if not already. They are going to tax unrealized profits. This, folks, it is going to hurt, but like everything else, there is always a way to bypass this. Okay, I'm not going to talk about this, not in a public video or not today, but yes, there is always a way for anything. Okay, and I'm not trying to convince you to avoid the law. Okay, we are talking about legal ways to do such a thing, trying to protect ourselves, because wealth people are going to do it, right? So yeah, so please remember, this is not a recommendation for you to commit crimes. Not at all, okay? And these things are going to change the way people invest, participate in the markets, and they are going to restrict the middle class and poor people to participate. It is going to be restricted like it was in the far past, in the early days. And yeah, so this is a big issue, a big problem, and something to be very, very concerned about it. Okay, so I will try to record another video later today or tomorrow about what is happening in the crypto market right now. But you guys got to remember, the credit score of the United States was lowered from AAA to AA plus. This was the thing that bring the markets down. Okay, so I wasn't expecting this. It came with a surprise. I was expecting some upside movement. The trend is still the same, the direction is still the same, just a bit of delay. And based on the trial outcome, we are probably only going to see some big movements by late or mid-September to early October, okay? Just like back in 2020. So I'm going to talk more about this in the next video. But yeah, so for now, this is it. Just sharing my 2 cents about this. And yeah, so I hope you guys are having a great day or a great night, enjoying your time, enjoying your family, having a good time. And thanks for your support, thanks for your patience. Don't forget to smash the like button. And yeah, so I will see you guys soon, and see ya.